They had to be pushed off earlier. And here we go, round one for the championship, scheduled for 12. You see the obvious height advantage of Michael Nunn. He's a southpaw. Toney wears the Star of David on his trunks for his manager, Jackie Callan. Danny Nelson separates the fighters. Nunn did connect with the right hand in that exchange, and Toney missing wildly twice. Nunn's people kept calling Toney one-dimensional. What do they mean by that, Joe?
Well, they looked at some tapes and saw him doing the same thing over and over again. But he promises that he's going to change his style to accommodate Michael Nunn to beat him. And that's not throw one punch at a time. But you see Nunn landed some good hard shots on the inside.
And Toney's come back and landed a couple of lefts.
That's right.
Toney.
When you get Michael Nunn up against the ropes, he's going to lean back on you. Don't even bother going to his head. You got to look low for Michael Nunn when he gets on the ropes. Got to stay to his body, hit his arms, hips, anything.
Final minute of the first round. And Toney hasn't been overwhelmed by this home crowd appeal at all.
Good left hand to the liver there. He slips that head over on his left side and takes the body just like he did there.
An action-packed first round. A lot of punches thrown.
Nunn being real active in this first round.
Nunn getting a left in there, trying to hold him off with his right. And Toney just kind of smirking as Nunn just measures him with that right hand.
And Nunn.
With the left. Final seconds of the first round.
He's worried about a headbutt on the inside, but on the other hand, Toney got hit with a few good right hooks too by keeping that left hand low. Something that he said he had to change for a southpaw. Keep that left hand up more.
Round two, it's scheduled for 12. He did land a left. I don't know if it was good as the crowd thought it was. And Nunn is staying in close where Dundee didn't want him to be, to risk that headbutt. And Nunn connecting with a combination. And a good left from Nunn. He pushes Toney off with the right.
He just seems so much physically stronger than Toney. He can push him off at will. He can trim him at will right now. Toney's got to really get a lot busier than he is right now. Nunn's out hustling him.
Staying in inside quarters now. Halfway through the second round. And Toney connected with a right to the body and one to the head. But Nunn does seem to be more in control of things.
Yeah, a lot of these punches that Toney is throwing, I can guarantee you'll be landing on a lot of people. But Nunn has got that great radar, and he just slips even when you're just inches away from him.
He's just taunting Toney with that right hand, just laying it out on his head. Toney sneaks a left hand in there.
Look at Nunn. He's so good at turning you, making you lose sight of him. Really, he slips over to one side or the other, and you so quickly.
And you saw Nunn land, and Toney just gave him a look, as if to say you don't have much.
Well, while he's giving him a look, he's getting eaten up on the inside right now by Nunn.
Well, so far, all the bluster, the pre-fight talk from Toney was just that. So far, the first 2 rounds, just a lot of talk. Good left to the body from Nunn. Nunn working low, misses high with the left. Toney tries to come back. I don't see much on Toney's punches yet.
His punch is straight a little bit low. You can hear the cup popping.
That's the end of the round. On the stool.
Which is smart.
Now he stands up, as you heard Angelo Dundee exhorting Nunn to show his speed.
Well, I can guarantee if he shows Toney any more speed, he's going to be out of this fight completely, because even at the speed he's using right now, he's losing Toney. Toney's a step behind him in every category, just like that.
There's a good right jab from Toney, from Nunn rather.
And this is what Toney's got to do. He's got to get busy on the inside here and let him go. He's got to go 3, 4, 5 punches.
Check out, Michael.
And the heads are close together again. And Toney caught Nunn with a left. And Nunn comes right back.
Good straight left hand that turned the head of Toney around. Oh, Toney almost catching Nunn with the counter right hand off his uppercut.
Angelo Dundee told me he thought that Nunn could really nail him with the uppercut, but Toney landing some there, and a good right in that flurry.
This is what Toney's got to do. He's got to draw him into a slugging match on the inside and hopefully catch him with some. Nunn's got a great chin, though. He's been hit by the best in the business. So just because he gets hit with a good punch from Toney, he's not going to fall.
Dundee thought Nunn could catch Toney with the body shot and then double up with the uppercut and nail him. Midway through the 3rd round now. Quick little left from Nunn. Cute punch and backs off. There's the left to the body and follows with the right. Toney looks at him. And Nunn coming on while the crowd exhorts him.
Nunn really throwing some good hard body shots in there.
The crowd chanting Michael in his home stadium. And Nunn landing 2-3 shots there. And a couple of jabs get in as well. Couple of lefts. Nunn on Toney. Nunn landing here in the 3rd round.
Nunn looks very focused. He looks sharp tonight. Now, when you talk to Toney, he thought Nunn would be a little bit easier than this. I don't think he expected, and he just got wobbled a little bit by a left hand by Nunn.
Strong round for Nunn. Another left hand gets in there.
Break. Close your hand, Mike.
Nunn's all over him again as the 3rd round comes to a close.
Punches, but Nunn's just ending almost all of them.
4th round, you heard what Toney's corner told him. Stop going for the home run ball. Throw some combinations.
Well, they've been working for 3 months, from what I understand, on Toney putting on pressure, throwing combinations, getting inside on Nunn. Things don't always work out like you plan, though, especially against Michael Nunn.
Toney connects with a jab. Nunn shakes it off. Toney goes after the body. There's the jab from Nunn right back at him. And again. And Toney missing. but Nunn doesn't. See the quickness of Nunn evading the punches of Toney there on that sequence.
And it's not because Toney's punches aren't coming out quick, they are. Nunn's got great radar, but he's finally doing a little bit what Bill Miller asked him to, put 2 and 3 and 4 punches together. But here's where he should be working right now, Toney.
Well, that jab of Nunn has been lethal here in the last couple of rounds. One after the other, sneaking through there. Toney does get a rare right to the body of Nunn.
Right, he threw a couple good body shots in there, and that's where he should be concentrating right now. Forget about hitting Nunn's head.
And Toney doing some missing. The final minute of the 4th round.
And this is what Toney's got to be doing. He's got to be bobbing and weaving and getting inside on Nunn.
Nunn countered to the body. Does it again. A couple of shots to the head. There he goes again. A left to the body.
And Toney smirking, sticking his tongue out like it doesn't bother him. But I guarantee you it does.
Toney landing lots of punches here in the latter stage of the 4th round, and Toney comes back with a couple. But Nunn doing most of the damage.
There goes Toney slipping by that jab, trying to hit the body, and that's what he's got to do more of. Don't be standing up tall with Michael Nunn. Punches landed per round and the connect percentage. But he is being very aggressive tonight. And I'll tell you, James Toney really aggravated him during that press conference and weigh-in. So he may be taking it out on him a little bit here.
All right, here we go in the 5th round.
That's the trouble with southpaws and right-handers going against each other. Sometimes, like Toney just did, stepped on Nunn's foot.
He looked down and then backed off. Nunn did. And lands with a left. Toney now chasing him.
That's, you know, if you look at Nunn, his bread and butter punch really is that left hand up underneath. He throws it to the chin, he throws it to the solar plexus, he throws it to the liver. It's really his best punch that he's got. And Toney told me he was well aware of it and that he worked on protecting himself from it, and he has on the chin, but he's been getting into the body with it quite a bit.
And Toney's, with his reach advantage, has been able to hold off. Nunn has been able to hold off Toney with the right.
Yeah, he's strong physically. He can stick that hand out and really stop you in midstream.
Watch your head. Watch your head.
And inside, their heads come together midway through the 5th round.
Well, that's what he's got to do.
Toney punched his way out of there, and Nunn tries to shrug that off.
Well, those don't do him any justice, believe me. He threw 3 or 4 good little short punches, a few uppercuts and right hands.
And now Nunn content to let Toney punch away. Tried the uppercut with the right.
And he's talking to Angelo Dundee in his corner saying, don't worry, I'm going to get off these ropes in a second. I'm going to let him throw a few punches.
Strategy perhaps to let Toney tire himself out. Toney connects with a glancing right to the head, and back comes Nunn at him in the final minute of the 5th round. And Nunn landing again. And Nunn lands and comes out of there.
Great right hook by Nunn. Toney's absorbing a lot of punishment to the head here.
So Nunn knew what he was doing when he laid up against the ropes there. Connects with the left to the body.
It was a nice slip underneath Nunn's left hand, and Toney went right to the body. He's got to do more of that.
But Nunn connected with the left to the head. Making the punches in there now in the final 10 seconds of the 5th round.
Well, Toney made Nunn miss with quite a few punches there towards the end of this round. Missing punches will take a lot of steam out of you too, and that's what he's got. And on the other hand, Nunn's only been down one time in his career. That was in his 14th fight against Carl Jones. Other than that, he's never hit the deck. Bill Miller urging James Toney to turn it on. He goes, we've got to start taking over the fight now, because he knows each round goes by, he gets deeper and deeper in the hole.
A left hand from Nunn after the jab continued to find its mark. Just proving too elusive for Toney.
For such a tall guy, he's 6'1", 6'1.5". He just got down to about the 3-foot level underneath that left hook at James Toney. Shows you the agility he's got.
And a little cute left from Nunn smacked Toney in the head after that break. Midway through the 6th round now. Michael Nunn pretty much in control of this fight thus far.
Toney's got to start cutting the ring off. Nunn's starting to get a little bit more movement to his game plan here, and Toney's got to cut the ring off on him. Good right hand, left hook uppercut by Toney.
Toney with a good combination.
He's got to stay busy.
He's got to follow it up though. Why is he covering up when he has the other guy on the ropes? He's got to go after him. Just didn't press the advantage he had, Toney. And Nunn lands. A give and take round here in the 6th.
Look at this.
And Nunn just spins him around.
Well, Nunn ran into a little bit of a right hand there. Knocked him off balance, but he comes right back.
Nunn trying to flash some hand speed there, but Toney's landing as well. Of lefts and a left to the body as well. As the 6th round comes to a close. Good round. Here we go for round 7.
Well, this fight is really slipping away from James Toney right now. He's just not been able to stick to his game plan. I know he's been trying very hard, but he just can't pull off what he wanted to do, and that's to pin Nunn and land a lot of shots on him.
The quickness of Michael Nunn really showing here tonight. Remember, Toney's never lost. Then again, he's never fought a Michael Nunn.
His toughest competition today was Murky Sosa, who he really gave a boxing lesson to in Atlantic City, in his hometown. But to date, that's been his toughest opponent. Murky rated in the top 5. Great right hand by Toney right there.
Continues to jab away, waiting for that lefty opening. And Toney landing those short little punches inside when they're close. Well, Warren to keep the punches up. And Toney connecting.
All right, James throwing some good combinations there, and this is the type of pressure he's got to keep up. He's got to win around and get back in this fight. Landed a good right hand on that.
But he doesn't press the attack when he does that, Joe. Backs off. And allows Nunn to do what he's doing right now. Come right back at him. And a left connects from Nunn.
Well, this is what Nunn's people meant by Toney being one-dimensional, that he couldn't change his style to adapt to Nunn. He's doing basically the same thing he does in all of his fights. But so far, this has been Toney's best round. I think he's landed some good shots, just like that right hand.
And Nunn tries to come right back at him, and now he does. Good exchange. Right hand from Toney.
Oh, that left hand to the body just hurt Toney. He is in trouble right now. There goes Nunn throwing those great shots to the head.
He's saying, "Come on, boy.
Come on, boy." He wants to beat him up for that trouble Toney was giving him earlier in the day. Nunn told me after the weigh-ins, he said, "I'm going to punish this Toney for what he did to me at the weigh-in."
And now they just stare at each other, say a few more words. Percentage with a lot more.
54% to 31 on the CompuBox.
As we start the 8th round.
Come on.
Well, Nunn calling his own timeout there to wipe his feet. Toney obliged him for a second, said, "What the heck am I doing?" and jumped right back into the fight.
Right. Referee didn't call a time.
Nope. Goes back to that old saying, protect yourself at all times when that bell rings.
That's right. Right hand from Toney.
Mike Nunn turned into a right-handed stance. Why he'd do that, I wouldn't know. He's been so successful in this southpaw stance. He turned right-handed and caught a good right hand off his chin from Toney. Toney pressing a little bit more here. He landed a good right hand to the belly and then kind of double him over for a second.
And left to the side from Toney. Now Nunn up against the ropes and over the top. And Nunn taking it from Toney. Acting like his idol of years gone by, Muhammad Ali. Couple short left to the head, the right to the body as well. Toney with the right uppercut. Final minute of the 8th round. Some good action. Toney landing in a couple of rolls and the left hand. Toney's had his moments. He just hasn't been able to follow them up. And Toney lands a good right hand again. Good round for James Toney.
Nunn yanked him by the hand and spun him and hit him at the same time.
And now Toney ducking away from the punches. Toney with another right hand. Nunn's walked into a couple of those, Joe.
Yeah, this is definitely his best round. He's landed his hardest shots in this round. And that really aids Michael Nunn.
9th round. Let's see if Toney can follow up the good round he had in the 8th.
Well, the CompuBox has Toney landing 51% to Nunn's 32% of power shots in that 8th round.
Yeah. But he's so far behind, apparently, in the scorecards. He's got to keep it going. What he started in the eighth.
He's going to have to keep it going, and to catch up to Nunn, he's going to have to hurt him. He's going to have to knock him down. He's going to have to get back into this fight by hurting Michael Nunn.
Well, Toney connected. He pushed Nunn back. It's Toney chasing Nunn. And Nunn not able to land as many jabs as he did earlier. Although he does there.
Toney kind of leaning away and riding those jabs out. He's really not walking into solid jabs. He's got a little hip to what Nunn's doing. He's trying to move that head and shoulders a little bit more now. But he's still not getting close enough to hit Nunn with the body or head. There he goes.
Although he did there.
Right.
And again with a right. Toney connecting with a right. And Toney going after Nunn here. But can he keep it going here? Nunn looking over towards his corner is caught with an uppercut. And another right from Toney. Nunn coming back, landing. And Nunn trying to make a comeback here in the 9th round. And the crowd's behind him. But a strong start to the round. And here goes Toney after him again.
Toney's taking some shots at guys like Donald Curry, Callan Bay, and a lot of other top-notch middleweights haven't been able to take.
Toney's showing something in the latter rounds here.
He sure has. Boy.
And Toney after him again. Toney with a strong right. And catches him with a glancing left as Nunn falls back. Exciting 9th round. And the right hand from Toney. Oh, strong right from the challenger. Oh, he goes after Nunn again. What another big round from James Toney.
That round that they both landed solidly.
And Nunn comes right after him to start the 10th. Angelo Dundee was telling him you can put this guy on his back. Well, that remains to be seen. Two very strong rounds put together by the challenger. And Toney gets a right hand in there.
Measuring Toney with that left uppercut.
Toney comes back with the right.
He's surprising. He looks like he's almost fading in a way, and then he comes back. It looks like he's playing possum at times. James Toney comes back and
looks
throws
like he's
shots.
setting the tempo here in this round.
Well,
and a right hand from Toney, and another one, but that was a glancing blow. And he's got Nunn on the run here.
Well, he's definitely got Nunn's respect because Nunn's retreating, but yet he does that every so often in the rounds and comes back hard himself.
In your history with Nunn, have you seen a challenger piece together the couple of rounds that Toney has done here?
Well, I'll tell you, not after taking as much punishment as James Toney took early and coming back this strong. This is truly an amazing fighter, James Toney, and deserves a lot of credit. Punches like that I've seen guys go out with. James Toney belongs in the top echelon of the middleweight division with this performance tonight.
Final minute of the 10th round. Not many people thought it would go this far, Joe.
A lot of people thought Toney was in over his head. And he might be as far as the scorecards are concerned. But as far as heart and courage and talent, he's right up there.
And the last few rounds have been his. Connects with another left hand. Oh, right hand from Toney.
Toney's got a lot of starch left on his right hand.
Nunn sneaks a left in there. 10 seconds to go in the 10th round.
Tony's really landed some real hard shots.
And
just
another
like that
one. Another right hand from Toney as the round comes to a close. How about the conditioning of James Toney? He's been using some of that high-tech conditioning that Evander Holyfield used.
It's definitely paid off for him, the high-tech training that he's been through, because he's taken such a pounding in the early rounds. For him to be this strong late is a testament to that training.
I think more people will go to that kind of style, perhaps. Here we are in the 11th round. Toney's come on strong in the 8th and 9th. Had a good 10th as well. You know, it wouldn't be popular, but strategically it would be in Nunn's behalf to dance away for a couple of rounds and not try to mix it up with Toney.
Well, that's what Dundee wants him to do. He says he wants him to pop move. He says you're too smart for this guy. Don't reach for him. Don't get caught by stupid punches like you did with those counter right hands, because he was reaching with his left. Toney really teeing off on that.
And Toney swings and misses, and both of them on the ropes. Toney nearly went flying over. Lands it with a right.
Great right hand. Well, Toney's got a high ratio of knockouts in his 20-some-odd fights, and Michael Nunn's proven he can take a great shot because he's got him.
And pushes Nunn into the ropes.
Well, just as I said, he took a great shot. He got hit with a great right hand and went reeling back, but I think it was more off balance.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, Joe, but it was a good hand.
Oh!
Another right from Toney.
Oh!
He's down! Just the second time in his career.
He is out. He is hurt. I don't know if he's going to get up. He is out on his feet. That is it. I don't see him getting up. Oh, my God.
He's up at 10.
What a great left hand.
Challenger.
Oh,
Down.
that is it. How can he stop it? That's it. The fight's over.
James Toney's done it.
James Toney wins the title. Unbelievable. What a left hook he got caught with. Oh, my. Well, that was the only way he was going to win this fight, Len. James Toney is so exhausted, he can't believe it. He is out cold as much as Nunn is right now. They got to drag him off the floor.
James Toney is the IBF middleweight champion of the world, stunning previously undefeated Michael Nunn. Nunn losing for the first time in his hometown here, his first loss in his 37 professional fights.
It was that dogged pursuit by James Toney. He didn't give up. He never stopped. He listened to his corner, and Nunn didn't. He got sloppy at the end.
And this crowd is standing stunned. Toney said he would win, and he's backed up his words. For the first time in his career, he's knocked out an opponent after the 5th round, and what an opponent it is, Michael Nunn, knocking him out in the 11th.